TviQ, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. For this interview, we're doing an in-depth look at the state of Reaper and pro opinions on the character. So to start, we'd like to hear what you think Reaper's role is right now in the Overwatch League, considering we only see him in a handful of specific circumstances.
I think currently he is a little bit of a lackluster character when it comes to being able to defend himself in a sense, because it's kind of too easy to burst him, and once you force out his abilities, he's just a standalone target and it's very easy to pick off. Since his range is so small, you can always kite him around. And basically, like, as long as you can play him around like on a map like Anubis, where the corridors are really tight, then it's easy for you to like kind of boost him around to make sure that he can get in a position to deal lots of damage, because he's really good at dealing a lot of damage and really fast. But problem is getting him there. So currently in Overwatch League, I don't think he has much of a presence, almost at all. But with the changes, he's definitely going to be seeing a lot more play.
So previously we had Roadhog in kind of a flanker role before all the various changes were affected on him. I'm curious to see why you think that Reaper hasn't kind of stepped up to fill that role as the bursty flanker that we saw Roadhog as earlier before Overwatch League.
I think the biggest reason for that is the hook. That's the reason why Roadhog could be played as a flanker in comparison to Reaper, where Reaper kind of like, he just has his shotguns and a getaway ability, and he can't really do much flanking with that. I mean, sure, if nobody sees you, but in pro play, you're never really gonna get that chance. People check their corners. For sure.
So as he currently exists, and you did touch on this a bit, what do you think are his main strengths and weaknesses in the current competitive landscape?
I think his main strength is the heavy tank push that he can do, where he can, if a tank doesn't properly respect a Reaper, he would demolish you. But the weaknesses is far too many to actually make good use of him.
How do you feel about the current level of changes hitting Reaper on the live patch, and have they actually made him a more viable pick on ladder?
I definitely think that he would be a lot more viable, specifically on ladder. But I also think in specific pro plays there are gonna be many maps. I'm thinking something like maybe Blizzard World, where there's many tight corners where you can kind of like play him around. And because of his shift now has like a movement speed buff where he moves faster, and just basically, and he can cancel the shift also at any time. I think that he's gonna become like almost in somewhat of a similar role to Tracer, where he can, with good skill and like good game sense, you can definitely like just make him work on most points and most maps.
Considering Reaper has seen a steady stream of buffs, do you think we'll have a viable Reaper for competitive play in Overwatch on the horizon?
I definitely think there's a possibility for him to become like a somewhat of a meta pick on maybe a couple of maps, but without having proper scrim results with him, or being able to scrim with it, can't really say for sure, but I definitely think in theory that he is a very possible pick.
In regards to Reaper's ult, there currently exists a lot of hard counters for it in the game, and with the addition of Brigitte, we now have one more counter to that ability, not to mention it can be accomplished without taking any damage from it. What changes do you think can be made to Death Blossom to keep it balanced while re-establishing its efficacy?
I definitely think that no changes should really come to Death Blossom, because it's already as it is a ridiculously strong ultimate, and it's the reason why he might not always be so very successful is probably the communication between you and the rest of your team, and you need help. It's the same thing with Genji and Dragon Blades. You definitely need help to be able to pull it off, and most of the times you're just gonna die because you think you are in a good position to use it, but you're not.
Fair enough. What further changes or even new approaches need to be made in order for Reaper to make a full map appearance in Overwatch League? Thinking similarly along the lines as like D.Va getting her micro missiles, do you think there are any kind of new angles they can take in developing Reaper?
I think you need to give him wings and speed boost of 5,000%, and then maybe he will be able to see 100% gameplay.
Outside of a competitive setting, how do you think the character feels right now with all the changes? Have the changes made it more fun to play?
I definitely think it's a lot more fun to play Reaper as with the new changes, because it enables him to not just be this kind of straightforward character where you just shoot, or maybe I'm low on HP and need to get back, you just shift away. I definitely think with with the ability to cancel shifts, his Wraith Form, I definitely think that a lot of high mind games will be able to come into play, and just basically also maybe being able to use it to just get in fast into an enemy's face, and then just being heavy pocketed while just being a wrecking ball.
In closing, how do you feel personally about the character? Is he somebody that you wish you could play more competitively? Do you enjoy playing him off of competitive, like more in a casual sense? And is there anything personally that you would like to see come to the character, either aesthetically or gameplay-wise, in the future?
I think in order for him to be like a really fun pick for me, or just like being able to like play him all the time and just really enjoy it, I think it needs a wall climb and a bow. Hanzo.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out our channel for more action-packed content. Also, like and share this video, and click the subscribe button to join our notification squad. Thanks for watching.